this is an emergency video. I did warn everyone that this is going to happen. And every time we never ever learn from history. We have broken the 100 moving average. We're heading to the 200 moving average. Now we are in capitulation mode. We were in complacency, we covered this. Anxiety, we just passed this, and now we're heading to capitulation. Look closely at the RSI. Everyone's going to tell you that we're oversold. We are oversold. However, things can go oversold for a very long time, just like this period in June 2022. We had a moment of capitulation. Now I'm going to zoom into this part. This part is very, very important. I'm going to head over to the CME gaps. In 2022, we had a capitulation moment just like we're having right now. There was a CME gap. There were actually two CME gaps, right over here and right over here. We never filled them. So on Monday, we are not going to fill these CME gaps. We're going to continue on. Sellers will continue to panic and continue to sell. We're going to form a bear flag just like this, and then another CME gap, finally another capitulation. I kept on warning you time and time again, but no one wanted to listen. They thought their altcoins have to see euphoria, have to see mania, and then we're going to head into a bear market. Unfortunately, that's not how the market goes. We did say that the dollar is going to head up higher, and we were right in our prediction. We did say that the dollar will head up higher, and this is a massive bullish signal. Bears couldn't push this down. They tried their best. To push this down. They didn't. Bulls stepped back in. This was at a very oversold territory, and now we're heading up higher. When the dollar goes up higher, risk assets see a massive downturn. This is Ethereum. Same thing is happening. Ethereum in 2022 and Ethereum in 2026. Cascading moment. We had a capitulation moment, and we went all the way to 1,600. This could easily get to 2,100 to around $1,800. Then make a bear flag and continue on our cascade. I did say this many times. No one wanted to listen to me, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, this is a vicious bear market like I predicted. I'm not smiling. I'm not happy about this. I wanted to see higher prices. Unfortunately, this is the case. We're going to look at Solana. Now Solana, we've spoken about Solana many times, and we did say it's forming a massive cup and handle, a massive head and shoulders, and like we anticipated, it has broken. This is a very bearish sign. If the bulls don't step back in just like they did here and take control, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue on our cascade. This is a huge massive distribution zone right over here of almost 2 years. 2 years the Solana Foundation has been distributing. We're going to head lower to the next region is at $81, then at $56. XRP, just like I predicted, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to come down. XRP is showing the exact same similarities as we did during this previous cycle. Now, if we don't, I reiterate, if we don't hold this section, we're going to cascade lower. We're doing the same thing, literally exact same thing that we're doing here. Now remember, price never ever follows narrative. Please remember that. The price moves, and then all the storytellers and marketers start talking about what happened. Okay, so if the bulls, if they don't step in, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cascade even lower, just like we done in the previous cycle in 2021. I warned everyone, ladies and gentlemen. If you had just joined my private members, I would have helped you a long time ago. Altcoins are going to go through the same thing. I kept on telling you time and time again, we're going to fill the wicks. I'm going to show you a replay. This is important. Just before the 10/10 event, right over here, I said to everyone, every single person, that we're going to fill the wick, and guess what happened? We filled the wick, or we're very close of filling the wick. Altcoins will go down another 80%. As you can see, we came very close to filling this wick. There's many projects out there. I can pick whatever, any coin out there, and I told you that it will fill the wick, and it has filled the wick, just like this coin. And I said the same thing again. I said that we must fill the wick, and guess what? We've filled the wick. Many of these coins will end up filling the wick and will end up going even lower than the wicks. Another project that must fill the wick. Everyone thought that this is going to go up higher. Everyone thought that we're going to see higher prices. All the bulls tried to push this higher and higher, and I was adamant that we're going to fill the wicks. We're getting closer to our targets. We're getting closer to the ultimate flusher. Now, many participants believe that QE is a great thing for risk assets. It's actually a very bad thing for risk assets. The best thing to do is to either sit on the sidelines or short all of these coins. The market is rewarding you for shorting these coins. Now, I know a lot of folks are saying that there's so much shorting happening, they're gonna get liquidated, these people are gonna get liquidated. I promise you the same thing happened in the previous bear market. Everyone was shorting from 69,000 and the market continued to reward them. There was massive shorts during this bear market and the market continued to reward them again and again. Likewise, the same thing is happening here where many participants are shorting and the market is rewarding them to short. Another great indication of finding bottoms is when the volume goes up, ladies and gentlemen. You want the volume like this to go up while the price hurdles down. That means there's many buyers that have stepped in. Volume is nowhere near this period here. That means we still have some more room to go down. Once the volume picks up right over here, that's one of the best indicators of finding a bottom. This right here is 2026, this current bear market. This right here is the previous bear market. We broke this miniature trend line. Now we're doing the same thing that we're doing right over here, a cascading event. Then if you zoom in, like really zoom in, we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of selling pressure during that time. We have so far right now from Saturday, 1, we've broken this area, 2, so we've got roughly another 5 more days of selling pressure. We're most likely heading to 66 to 65,000 US dollars. I want to make a quick side note. This one's dubious speculation, but this one is quite interesting. If we head right over to 2019, I'm going to show you something. We initially bottomed right over here at 6,478 and then made another double bottom at 6,413. Let's add another 0. I think maybe this is dubious now. I think maybe we're going to bottom at 64,000 US dollars and then head up higher. Everyone's going to look at this moving average at 68,000 US dollars. I think we're going to wick right underneath. We've done the same thing here. We wicked right underneath the 200 moving average. For a few more weeks, we consolidated and then headed back down. Broke this area and then headed to the 300 SMA. The bulls are going to be extremely stubborn and say that we haven't actually made a lower low. We need to break 74,000 US dollars for them to stay quiet. Unfortunately, Michael Saylor is underwater. His average price is at 76,000 US dollars. So what happens to him when we head to 42,000 US dollars or even lower?